Okay, testing audio again. Looks like it's working. Ebony, good morning. Yeah, feel free to post your portfolio in there. Folks, happy to see you all here early. We've got another 12 minutes. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee and take a little bio break before we get started. But I will be back here in just a bit. Hey, folks, I'm back at the computer. Tim will be here. And good morning. I don't have a cold. Did you notice something? Also, why is my camera not working? Spot, me too. Stream camera. Is that not the right camera? I don't want the virtual camera. What is happening? Tonme, hello. Okay, hold the phone. Where is camera? I'm like, hey, look at that. All it took was a little unplug and replug. A little reset. Hopefully it didn't change my other sound settings. Nah, we're fine. We're fine. I was sick before, and about 3 weeks ago, I got COVID for the second time I'd ever gotten COVID. Holy guacamole! It knocked me down the second. The first time, it was fine, though. I did have to cancel my wedding. The timing was a little unfortunate, but in regard to like my quality of life, first COVID was fine. Second COVID for 3 weeks ago knocked me down, man. Holy shit! I live to tell the tale, and the tale I choose to tell is to remind everybody: hey, get your vaccinations. At least while you still can. That was the United States' current political system joke. All right. Now I have to battle the ongoing puzzle of where on my desk is the best place to put the cup of coffee, where it's both accessible but also not in danger of being knocked over. All right, let's go ahead and start the stage. Let's invite all the people in. Pushing button. Make political jokes while you still can. Tonme, you get it. Yeah. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Any other submissions in the chat? Doesn't look like anything yet. I wonder where my co-presenter is. He's taking his time. No, I got you, Akil. I got you. You're on the list. I think you're on the list, right? Yeah, you're on the list. Hey, if you folks didn't know, you can tune into the other current sharing camera. That's the live stream on YouTube, but it also has the queue on there, which is in regard to Discord stage. That's the current solution that we're able to at least somewhat aptly keep updated. Oh, right. Good question, Ikeen. I meant to paste in the YouTube channel. It's currently live streaming on our YouTube Discord channel. I'm sorry, YouTube stream. Let me send a link. Here we go. All right, here is a link to our current YouTube live stream, and I gotta edit the post at the very top of the chat, so it's got the link as well. All Aliyu, another case study? Damn, man, you've been cruising. Discord is asking me if I trust your website. Do I? Suppose we'll give it a shot. Let's see, 11:02. Not entirely sure where my co-host is, but he'll hop in whenever he gets a moment. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to talk with you all. Gosh, it's strange being here all alone, talking to myself, but I guess I'm not. I guess you were all here as well. Welcome to Feedback Friday. We do this every Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, PST. We're getting started now. We're doing this for the next 2 hours. If you are new here, we do this every Friday at this time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. PST. Feel free to drop your resume or portfolio in the chat where it's publicly accessible. I'll invite you to the stage. We'll chat about it. We'll take a review about it. Note that if you do submit anything in the chat, it is being live streamed and recorded on YouTube for the greater universe to potentially review and take a look at someday. So if you have sensitive data on your resume, feel free to adjust it before we take a look at it live. Phone numbers, for example, is really the key thing that most people are keeping an eye out for. But emails are sensitive too, I suppose. Let's see, currently 4 folks in the queue. And then top of the list, we've got Ebony, top of the list. And now I recall, Ebony, we talked briefly last week. I remember you were at the end of the queue and we didn't quite get to you in time. So now my challenge is trying to find you in the chat so I can invite you to the stage to talk. And that's the hardest part of this entire thing. It's got to be a faster. Ebony, there you are. I found you. Invite to speak.
Hello.
Ebony, hello.
If so, I'll put on my headphones.
Say that one more time. I have to turn my volume up.
It's okay.
Oops.
Are you echoing because the phone's on so that it's not annoying to other people watching?
I do hear a bit of an echo. Is that something on my side or is that echo?
Okay. Okay, I'll put my headphones on. So it'll be easier. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, I can hear you. But yes. Hello.
Hello. I'm still getting a bit of an echo from you, of all people. I don't hear me anymore, but you're coming in twice. Is the rest of the chat having that hurdle as well, or is that just me?
I don't think so. Hopefully, microphone should be connected.
I'm so sorry to say. Yeah, it looks like we're hearing you twice. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a speech jammer. If you've ever had the privilege of experiencing one of those, but I don't have an answer for you of how one resolves that. I'm so sorry.
Me neither. I've never actually had this issue.
Ebony, I'll tell you what. If you're okay with it,
okay,
let me hop to the next person in the queue, and then hopefully you can resolve it in the meantime. And I'll shuffle back to you after the first review's over, and we'll see how you're doing. All right, perfect.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, excellent. We'll follow up here in a second then. And then next in the queue, I should just save the queue on my other screen here. Next on the queue is Akil. We were just talking about Akil. Let's see. Perfect. Top of the list. Hello.
Hello, Nate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me again.
Right. Yeah, man. Pleasure to talk with you again. Give myself a review of what your context is, but also for all the other folks on the call. Who are you? What do you do? And what are you looking to target for this call?
Right. So my name is Akhil. I'm a recent graduate with a master's in human-computer interaction. I've been job hunting for a while, but tough luck so far. So I've been reworking on my portfolio. I'm trying to get better case studies or projects on it. I'm not even qualifying for an interview. I had in last few months I had applied for like 100 job applications, and all I got was 2 interviews, which is very sad. So
Yeah.
I want to at least get into the funnel rather than getting filtered out at the very first stage.
Yeah. Totally makes
So
sense.
I'm totally reworking on all of my case studies, and currently working on one of them, which I have shared. I got to say this. I'll have more work to do on top of it, so it could be just an early first version of it.
Got it. Okay. Is your goal with this call to get feedback on just the case study then?
Yes, just the case study, please.
Nice. Okay. Let's take a look here. And I remember talking with you in the past. You've got the degree in HCI. Am I saying that right? HCI? Is that
Yeah.
Perfect. And looks like is this the Figma link? Oh, you nailed it. You're on top of it. And what was the position you were attempting to target?
I'm trying for junior level UX designer role. So it could be either entry level or something like something. If it's a startup, I could be wearing different hats at the same time.
Got it.
I
Cool.
got
That makes sense.
some experience working in a startup. I'm currently doing an internship for a startup as well. So I hope that makes sense. But
Yeah, totally
I'm
makes sense.
trying to focus on bigger organizations which could potentially sponsor a visa for me as well. But
Okay.
I'm open to anything, so it doesn't matter, Nate.
Gotcha. Hey, give me 1 second. The YouTube stream isn't. Oh, there we go. YouTube stream's working again. Man, it's hard doing this by yourself. A lot of things to juggle.
Totally understandable.
All right, let's take a look here. You've got a Figma portfolio here, and it looks like we've linked directly to a specific case study. Targeting junior UX. A lot of cool stuff going on here. Let's talk about Figma for a second. Do you have a portfolio with a custom domain and all that set up?
I do, but it's I'm updating it, so I haven't got enough time to build the actual case study on top of it at the moment.
Gotcha. So I'm hearing that the Figma case study we're looking at, this will eventually be translated into your live site?
Exactly.
Perfect. Cool. Not going to talk about Figma then. It sounds like you're already familiar with the advantages and disadvantages there, and you're making the right calls at translating this to web. Let's see. Once upon a time before custom GPTs, reimagining competitive exam preparation with an AI study tool. This is cool, man. You're already diving into storytelling. You've got the housekeeping up top here, which is excellent for recruiters and HR folk who don't know a whole lot about the vernacular here. They're doing a lot of keyword phrase matching from that of the application to that of your resume. So this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Picture of the thing. Overview. So when I'm looking at case studies, I'm typically looking for 3 specific questions to be answered. Question number 1 is, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Question number 2 is, how did you go about solving that problem? And question number 3 is, how did you validate that the problem was solved in some fashion? Now, if your goal is entry level here, or junior, I should say, I don't care as much about that third question. Measuring success, that's typically mid-level or higher mindsets that one should have. But for junior level, mostly care about what's the problem you're trying to solve and how did you go about solving it. So, love where you're coming at in regard to storytelling so far. You've got the overview, which is just a general description of what's going on, and then the problem you're trying to solve. This is massive. So love that you're explaining the problem very quickly here. Having a solution this far up is solid, though I would love to see your solution talk more about the impact that took place. So I think that, let me read this real fast. An AI-powered study tool that brings everything together in one place. It helps aspirants learn, take notes, revise, track their progress, stay motivated. Cool. So yeah, this isn't bad. You're talking about the tool, the actual tactical solution that you used, but then you dive more into the impact that is taking place. So taking notes, revising, tracking their progress, staying motivated. That's more the impact stuff I'm looking for. Do you have metrics on this tool that you're able to plop in here as well?
I had an impact section before, but I did remove it just because I couldn't find much value in it, because the impact session I had was based on user testing I did. So it's not actually the impact from the actual product, but instead from the user testing session, which I did personally myself just to validate my designs.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if you're able to find some sort of ability to put metrics in here, even soft metrics of some kind, would love to see some metrics in the solutions section up here. That enforces to the recruiter and the hiring manager that this person is in fact tracking success. If you're, this is also like mid-level and higher. If your goal is targeting junior, it's not as impactful, but really awesome to see if you're able to elevate that into measuring impact and measuring metrics in general. Awesome to toss in the solution section.
Just to clarify, does that user testing impact counts as an impact if you are a recruiter?
Say that question one more time.
Suppose you are the one who's recruiting me. When you look through my case study, does a user testing measure or like the result which I got after the user testing, does that count as an impact?
User testing is a tool of attempting to measure validation and momentum in a particular direction, and how you utilize those individual user testing sessions could measure impact, but it may not. So it depends on like how you utilize those sessions, what you utilize those sessions for. So if your goal is to utilize user testing sessions to validate that their problems are being solved, you're moving in the right direction, bam, that's impact. If you're using those user testing sessions to like validate if the brand identity is best speaking with them, like that's important, but less impactful in regard to measuring success of an application.
Got it. Makes
Is
sense.
that making sense? Like what you use this user session for?
So I did use the session just to make sure I'm solving the right problem.
Cool. Yeah. Then if you have some data there, would love to see that in the solution.
Right. Got it.
Let's see. So stage 1, design process, competitive analysis, rapid prototyping, user testing, goal and idea. Okay. So let me skim through this real fast. User testing, design process. Hey, let me ask you, did you end up taking a boot camp of some kind, or is everything that you've provided here, is this from your HCI degree?
It's not from my degree. It's something I did on the side.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So couple opportunities for improvement here. This is, first off, what you're doing here is fantastic. You've got a lot of stuff here that's working really well. The ratio of imagery to text is fantastic. For the folks on the call and familiar with this ratio, I like to argue that your case study should be closer to that of a children's picture book than like an essay or anything else. So I really appreciate the amount of imagery that you have in comparison to the text here. Images are just too good at solving information consumption for those who skim through your case study, like I am currently doing. Images are just too important. So you're doing a lot of cool stuff here. There is something that we can work on here. So one of the things I think I'm missing is your ability to storytell this particular project. So for example, at the moment, I'm skimming through the sections. We've got rapid prototyping here, competitive analysis, goal and idea. And these are things that one should do within a particular project. However, you're listing them here as if they are checkboxes on a particular process. The hurdle there being that if I'm hiring for a designer, every environment and every organization has different constraints, and none of them follow the linear process of these checkboxes. So I care less that you're answering the checkboxes one by one and more about, well, why did you choose this particular tactic based on the current constraints of the project? So one of the ways we can battle this is to dive into storytelling with a particular case study. So rather than labeling something like goal and idea, your title could be like, let me read this section real fast. Validate the core idea of the app quickly through rapid prototyping. The idea was to create an AI chat feature that helps users generate summaries. So that instead here, the title, instead of goal and idea, the title could be something like better understanding the user audience based on our particular constraints. And then I scroll down, instead of competitive analysis, the title could be why people aren't getting the solutions with the current products on the market. So now we're like telling the story of why you're going about solving this in the way that you are. Let me pause that. Is that making sense so far?
Absolutely does. Yeah.
There's one major advantage to this. So one, storytelling is great and it keeps people reading, it keeps people invigorated. One of the biggest advantage with having kind of lengthy titles like that is most people don't read your case study. They will skim through. Maybe they'll get to a particular section and they'll read that one section. But then most people are probably just skimming through and reading titles and looking at the imagery. So in order to battle the skimmers, we can make your titles fairly lengthy and long because people read titles. So now you're able to tell your story and provide more content to the imagery for only the people that skim through your thing. And that's going to be the majority of the folks.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I don't have much critique here. You've got a lot of stuff that you're doing really well. You're visualizing a lot of this data well. There are certainly UI things we could talk about, but I think all of that's going to go away when you translate this to a website. This case study does position you closer to that of a junior level than it does mid or senior. And the main reason I'm saying that is because it is depicting a fairly linear flow that is often found within junior case studies. When one enters the market, you will never in your life have a project that works as seamlessly as this one, nor in the same predictable flow as this one, which is why the current case study in its current presentation positions you that of a junior position. But all of that will come in time. If your goal was to position yourself as a higher level, then I'd want to finesse this in a couple of other ways. But I don't think your experience is dictating that is a good step for you just yet.
I agree. Yeah.
Cool, man. Beside that, I think you're killing it. I don't believe I have any other critique that is going to be valuable for you based, or at least more priority than the current ones we talked about. So adjusting the titles to tell more of that story, translating this into web, that's going to be big for you. And then talking more about the impact at the very top and ideally adding metrics in there. I think those are your main priorities right now. How are you feeling about those?
You're very helpful, Nate. Totally get you. I've been also working on the same thing again and again, just by polishing it. But honestly, it's not letting me finish the whole thing. I think I should prioritize on finishing it first and then polishing it. Yeah, that's it.
Totally agree with you, man. I really appreciate where your mindset is at, as in, hey, this isn't 100% completed just yet, but it's good enough to start getting feedback on. I love that mindset, and I super appreciate you coming on here today and showing your case study, even though it's not 100%. That's great.
Oh, cheers, Nate. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Let's see. I am looking back at the list. Let's take a look at who's next. Oh, we were going to catch up with Ebony. Ebony, where are you out there still somewhere? Let's see. You would think I would be able to sort the audience alphabetically, and maybe one can, but heck if I know how to do it. Ebony, welcome back.
Hello.
Oh no, we've still got an echo. I'm so sorry.
Why it's not working?
No, I have no idea. I'm going to toss you back in the audience because it's a little bit difficult to hear. We're going to follow up with you again. We're just going to keep following up with you, and hopefully someday we're going to get it. Next on the list is Victor then. All right, Victor, where are you at? Oh, look at that. I super appreciate you sticking your hand up for me.
Yeah, no worries. Appreciate you, Nate.
Yeah, man. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. We've chatted before, right? You've come on here, I think, a couple of times, right?
Yeah, maybe once or twice, but want to come back more often now that I'm trying to go back to revising my portfolio.
Heck yeah, man. Give me some context. What did we talk about last time, and what are you currently wanting to focus on?
Yeah. So last time we touched based on just general case study, feedback, storytelling, that whole flow. Where I'm at now is I've tried to revamp according to the feedback. I actually chose a new key font to use as my primary. So I have this new Kyoto font I found from a font foundry, and I experimented with showing more information up front. So these project cards are really trying to shove the work in front of the whoever's looking at the website right away. And the real focus is really trying to summarize and condense the key information. And if people want to read more, then they're happy. I'm more than happy to let them scroll. Yeah.
Nice, man. So I'm trying to recall. I know we've seen the site before, but I don't have a recollection of the detail here.
Yeah.
I don't remember what this previously looked like, but I can tell you the current one looks fantastic. Is this a section that you worked on?
Yeah.
Nice, man. This looks great. It could not be clearer on how to take a look at your case study. That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's great feedback. Thank you.
Yeah. What role were you trying to target?
Yeah. So I'm actually a graduate student right now for computer interaction and design over at UCI. And I am aiming for product design roles, but it's interesting because I have a background as a software engineer, about approximately 3 years of experience. So really going for entry level, mid-level roles within design, trying to leverage my engineering skills since AI is now starting to blur the lines between engineers and I think designers. Yes.
Yeah, man. I feel that. That's cool. You've got the software engineer background. Do you have any interest in the title UX engineer?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's actually it's like my career goal to get to that point, but I feel like AI has really accelerated that. So for better or for worse, I'm getting closer to that point now.
Interesting. Yeah, the UX engineer title is an interesting one, mostly because, and this is true with all product design and UX job titles, we don't have a universal plateaued definition of them just yet. And UX engineer feels like a particularly ambiguous one.
Definitely. But it's fun because I think for me, it's just about bringing the idea to life and being a part of the conversation about the strategy, about the aesthetics, not just doing the work and implementing it. I want to take the vision and then implement it. So there's no loss in fidelity in terms of like ideas.
Nice. Heck yeah. What were you wanting to focus on for this call? General portfolio, case study?
I wanted to, if we could briefly go over the structure of the website. That should be relatively quick. It's not very complicated. There's like one other page besides these 3 other case studies.
Sure.
And then I wanted to just dive into like my first case study, the social iOS app. You can see it's front and center.
Nice, man. Yeah, let's take a look. Website looks great. You know, when it comes to the visual aesthetics of sites, I typically don't have strong opinions on them.
Yeah.
From if one's goal is like UX and product design, like you're describing, then I care far less about the aesthetic and more about how effective you are at solving particular problems. So
sure.
I don't typically talk about the aesthetics. That said, your site looks great. Like it's so clear and concise. It's effective at communicating. You even have a dark mode built in. Look at that.
Yeah.
Snazzy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Value prop at the top here is fine. Currently seeking product design internships. I love that you've got a CTA that specifically targets what you're asking. That's huge. This farmers, where does this take me?
Farmers insurance.
Oh, right to farmers.
Yep.
Check it out. What's this guy's name?
I have no idea, but I've seen him for like so long.
Simmons. J.K. Simmons, I think, right?
Yeah.
The yellow M&M.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's him.
That way, I mean, yes, but I think chat's gonna yell at me for like he's got more famous roles than the yellow M&M.
That's so interesting. Wow.
All right. So this is great. Recruiters, hiring managers, their goal is to take a look at your website, find case study number 1. They're going to click on case study number 1. You are clearly entering that funnel here. You've clearly like nailed that particular funnel. Scroll down, case study number 2, number 3. Oh, interesting. So you've got trust building at the bottom here, work with organizations like. That's right. I remember the farmers one.
Yep.
I think we looked at the farmers one last time, right?
Yep. That's right.
Hire Victor today. Fantastic.
Well, sir, please.
Look at that. This is cool. Did you end up using Framer for this?
No, this is all custom built software. I built
Oh,
it
of course,
out
nice.
originally, and then since AI has come in, I've made it look a lot more fun. So I think AI has really helped me bring my creative visions to life. So yeah.
Nice, man. Website looks great. I have no critique over this. Oh, I'm just now noticing your the blur behind your navigation
Yeah,
up here.
a little bit of frosted glass, just a little trend.
Fancy, man. So fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. This looks great. Origin, journey. This is neat. And I love that you're diving into your personality here. So this particular page, the about page, when I'm looking at portfolios, I typically talk about 3 target audiences. Did we talk about the target audiences last time?
I forget, but yeah, touch on it for me, please.
Yeah. High level stuff. So when you're building a portfolio, 3 target audiences. Target audience number 1 is recruiters, and also like HR folk. I put them as kind of like the same persona. So target audience number 1, recruiters. Target audience number 2, hiring managers. Both of those personas care mostly about your case study stuff. But then target audience number 3, these are like future peers. If you were to get hired at the organization, these are people that you would work directly with. The only reason they matter for this particular process is because at some point the hiring manager is going to have like 40 resumes on their desk, and they're going to say, "Hey, peers, take a look through these resumes. Who should I target first?" So that's when targeting them comes to mind. And those folks care a lot. Those are the biggest folk for your about page. And that's why I love that you're diving into personality here, because they want to know like who you are as a person. If I share a cubicle wall with you for 8 hours a day, are you going to make my life miserable? Are you fun to like hang out with? So, yeah. I love that your about page is effectively targeting them. I think you're killing it. Work is probably just case studies again. Totally is. And then contact is the pop-up modal. Good. This is great, man. This is fantastic. Let's look at case study number 1, social iOS app. You start the Hangout, your friends vote. Dude, the storytelling here is fantastic. You start the Hangout, your friends vote. I don't know that I fully understand what that means, but it lures me in. Like it still hooks me.
Yeah, for sure.
Seamless home experience, democratic decision making, real-time results. Oh, and these are buttons. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can click on it and you'll get to see different screens, all that fun stuff.
Oh, look at that. This is an accordion. I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are the rest of your... Okay, I was noticing that the text wasn't highlightable. Not a problem for an accordion. I was just fearful that like your contact info wasn't highlightable, for example, but not the case. All right, let's take a look at case study number 1. What we do. Accordion and felt effortless. Success criteria. Look at this, man. Oh, we'll hold the phone. This isn't success criteria, though. This is... Why is it success criteria? So these are the constraints that you had when going into the project?
Those were my, I guess, the goals. This is actually similar to the last person presenting, a work in progress. I'm still working on this actually, but so I don't have true outcome numbers to speak. But right now it's just a lot of metrics I had from survey results and in-person testing. But to answer your question, this criteria is really just my goals to bring it from this number from the survey results down to a lower number because I want it to be more efficient.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think I understand. I think you're describing that these are the goals that you had going into the project.
Yeah, maybe it's not as clear and maybe I should just keep it to the summary, but I don't know.
No, I think you're fine. I mean, success criteria labels that correctly, though I then challenge like, oh, is he actually measuring impact here? But no, it's your genuine success criteria. I think you're fine.
For sure.
Friends meet coordination simplicity, a radical simple way to turn group plans into reality. And this, like you've already got metrics built into your discovery. This is huge. Solutions. I made the group decision delightful again. Cool. Location decisions kill 85. Yeah, this is great. The problem, the result, plans die in group chats. Yeah, you're killing the storytelling here. This is what we do. Okay, let me scroll through this for a second. So you're diving into features pretty fast. Practice makes better, iterations, research, results and insights. So this is fantastic. Everything you're doing here is fantastic. I would want to add a section. I would want to add, so what I'm seeing here is you dive fairly quickly from the problem that you're trying to solve right into what the solution is. And I'm not seeing the process that you took along the way to validate or like how we went about solutioning in this way. Like why is it a mobile app? Why is this layout effective at solving your particular problem?
That makes sense.
You're targeting junior though. So with wait, today you said junior or mid, right? Where's my notes?
Yeah, junior and mid. I was talking. I was in a panel. I was in the audience for a panel of like industry experts, and they're talking to us like graduate students, and they're like, by the end of this program, you guys should not be going for junior roles or entry level roles. In my mind, I was like, well, in this job market, I don't know about that, but I'm really just trying to do my best, land wherever I can.
Yeah, I feel that. Like I can tell you, in regard to targeting junior roles, the lack of process there is a bit of an encumbrance for you, and I would like to see that added. If the goal was to target mid-level, it'd be mandatory. This would not pass a mandatory or a mid-level check.
Yeah.
Do you have artifacts that you're able to add for that how process section?
Oh, definitely I do. I tried to show it in the iterations, but I think just being able to explain it, like the process and like the decision making, that's really, you're right. It's lacking a second. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. If you've got that stuff, if you're able to add that in here, I think this is like 10 out of 10 portfolio. Add it to my list of portfolios to showcase in the future, like quality.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, this is fantastic.
I'm curious though, because I've gotten feedback in the past where people felt like the research was kind of disconnected from the problem, and a bit of the case study itself was just kind of maybe bloated. Do you feel like it's bloated, or what are your thoughts?
No, when you say bloated, you're thinking too long?
Yeah, because in my mind, I know hiring managers give me maybe 20, 30 seconds to make an impression. And as they're scrolling, they're only looking for, visual crafts. And that's going to be the first thing that they use to filter out candidates. And then they're going to be reading headlines and storytelling. So that's really what I was trying to optimize for. So maybe that's why I was like trying to remove some of the process a bit too much, or maybe the numbers are disconnected from the problem. Those kind of things I feel like might be the core issues with this case study.
Well, I certainly don't think it's bloated. In regard to length, I have no problem with you making this longer by adding that process section.
Got it.
In regard to the research being disconnected from the result, I'd have to read through it in order to validate.
Yeah.
To validate my hypothesis and group coordination challenges, I surveyed 41 people about their social habits and logistic pain points. The data confirmed what I suspected. The problem wasn't motivation to hang out, but the broken process of making it happen. Yeah, I mean, this is just a great, concise storytelling. Okay, so now your research is indicating that the convenience and ease of getting folks together is the primary friction point of hanging out. So now your result has to go through, how did you make that process easier? And that's where...
Right.
The research section does feel potentially misplaced. Like I would expect the research before the visuals.
Okay, I could move things around for sure.
Yeah, now that we're talking about this solution section, so I love that you have a tiny solution section up here, but the solution section should be down at the bottom. So you've got that grand finale at the end. I
guess I was very nervous about showing them the actual work. I guess I already do that at the very top when you see the three screens. So maybe that's already the solution preview. I think two things. I want to include the prototypes so people can play around and it'll make more sense to them. And then the other point is just I guess being able to show how someone's workflow was previously before the app, and then how it's changed after they've used my app. So those are like, I think, the two biggest things I could help to clarify.
Yeah,
Do you have
I love
thoughts?
that.
Yeah.
No qualms with any of that. The only sacrifice you might be making with that is that it may position you closer to that of a UI designer than a product designer. So I think your goal, totally love the idea of you adding those, though you do want to position it from a solving business problems perspective rather than a solving UI problems perspective.
Got it.
Yeah, but I love the idea. I have no qualms with adding those.
Yeah. Okay. So just a bit of readjustment, swapping things around, showing a bit more of the decision making. You think that would round out the case study a bit better?
I do. And then adding that prototype, if you were to position that prototype from this is how we tested and validated the problems are being solved, as opposed to like, this is how we communicated with the developers.
Yeah.
So that would be, I would want to see how you position the prototype. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, man. Hey, I don't know that I have any other feedback for you, man. I think you're killing it. And can we just like look through your other case studies real fast?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, this one's really built out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks
this
fantastic.
one I made custom visuals for this one, explaining the problem. Very similar to the last one. I know a big pitfall of case studies is that people use templates, and it's bad because every case study it's its own story, and contextually you don't start the same way every project, right? So I've tried to keep that in mind as I was making these things. Yeah.
It looks great, man. I got no feedback for you. It's if my hiring manager said prioritize a list of folk to interview, this would be top of the pile for me.
Thank you so much. This one I still need to update. This is like an older format of mine, but yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah, I mean it's real text heavy. It looks like there's some storytelling efforts that you could also apply here, but like you clearly know what you're doing, and this just hasn't taken the time just yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. Hey, I got nothing else. Any last questions before we potentially move on to the next one?
No, that's all for me. But thank you so much, Nate. I appreciate you running this solo today, and appreciate your time as always. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Victor, pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Let's take a look at the chat here. Ebony, you still out there somewhere? I see you.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on with my live stream?
Hello?
Oh no, Ebony, it's still a double tongue.
That's
You know what's interesting? It's not repeating everything you say. It's just repeating the last couple.
That's so weird. I don't know why it's not working.
Oh boy, Ebony, I'm moving you back to the audience. Hey, we're gonna get this at some point. But I'll just keep following up with you, and hopefully we'll get it today. All right, Aliyu, that's a familiar name. Where are you at out there? And folks in the chat, I see that there have been a couple other submissions for portfolios or resumes or whatever they are. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm not taking a look at chat at the moment. So, man, it's hard doing this alone without the ability to like look at all the stuff. So when our list runs out, I'm going to go back to the chat and just grab them ad hoc. So if you don't see your name on the list, don't worry about it too much. All right, Aliyu, where are you at? Are you able to stick your hand up? Aliyu, are you still out there? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you. Aliyu, hello. Aliyu, you are currently muted if you're trying to talk.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, hello, hi, how are you?
Doing well, man.
I've been here a couple of times, and I'm back again, with my problems,
Yeah.
in general, things have been getting better. Yeah, we thank God. How about you? Hope you are doing much better.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm feeling way better. So we've chatted
That's
a
good.
couple of
That's good.
times. Last time we talked, I think
Yeah.
we took a look at your resume. What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I think it's the resume. So the last time we spoke, you guys gave me some pointers on how best to improve the resume, which, I implemented some of the feedback you guys gave me. So yeah, now I'm back for, to look into the resume again and see if, there is anything more I should do to make it
Uh,
better, if it's okay. I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Now I am going to pull up the
Oh,
resume on live stream. That's okay with you?
it's okay, it's okay. I have no problem with that.
Here we go. All right. Let's see. Do you typically have your phone number on your resume?
No, I don't usually add my phone number, because most of the jobs I'm applying for, are like international jobs. I don't think phone number would be, I don't know, would be that valuable.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Here in the U.S., phone numbers would be mandatory on resumes, but I will follow
Ah,
your advice in regard to your environment and conditions there.
yeah.
Self-employed, account manager. So one of the first things I do when I look at resumes is that I scroll down to the bottom and I take a look at the last date. And this gives me an indication of how long they've been in the workforce for. So looks like you've been in the workforce for
Ooh,
4 years, 5 years, somewhere in there.
yeah, and I think there is a mistake with the date, there.
Oh, looks at that. I should have looked at 2019. So 6 years, 7 years, somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. A lot of stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff well here. So what did we I'm trying to remember what we talked about last time. I recall us talking about the skill section, and I think I recall us
Mhm.
talking about rearranging. Did we talk about both those things?
Exactly. So yeah, in the previous conversation, the experience was a bit scattered. And one of the advice you guys gave me was to create another experience section for the freelance designer. And in that section, I should introduce some of the project I have worked on, and yeah, and that's what I did. And I also, rearranged the skills section. I removed some of the unnecessary, no, like word repetitions, from there, and simplify the structure and everything. So I don't know how, if it's better.
Sure, okay. Well, you're doing a lot of stuff right here. So let's talk about rearranging real fast. So when I'm looking at resumes, the first thing on a resume I'd like to take a look at is the most important thing that you think I should read. And typically that's the experience. Typically the experience is the most important thing that they want the hiring manager to review. So I'm seeing core skills first. I would argue experience should be first and core skills should be lower down the list, if not the very bottom of the list. And now I recall us talking about that last time. What's your motivation with keeping skills at the top? Elio, did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah. So what's your goal with keeping the skills at the top of the screen?
Actually, I'm not sure, what's my goal. I just felt, I should just put it there. If you think there is a better way to do it, I'm open to whatever suggestion you have.
Heck yeah, man. Okay, cool. If that's the case, let's drop these core skills and let's put them at the bottom. Those are the least important things on your resume, though weirdly impactful nowadays. Uh, did we last did we talk last time about the mysterious black box that is the ATS?
Yeah, we talked a bit about it, but I'm open also to hearing more, pointers,
Yeah, it
with
sounds
regards to
good.
that.
Happy to talk about it for the other folks on the call too that weren't here last week. So the resumes have a bunch of audiences. It's got the hiring
Mhm.
managers, the HR folk, the recruiter that takes a look at this, but also one of the new personas that we're having to target is the ATS. What's referred to as an ATS stands for applicant tracking system. Now, a lot of misunderstandings about how ATSs function and what their primary goals are. A couple of important things to note is that every organization of size has an ATS. The hurdle is every ATS has different features and capabilities and feasibilities. So it's more of a question of what is the organization using the ATS for. When most people talk about ATS, they're talking about auto filtration, but know that not all companies utilize auto filtration. Every company utilizes an ATS for relationship management. So if you submit a resume to a company, it's going to go to an ATS no matter what, even if it's not for filtration. However, we also want to make sure that your resume is parsable by an ATS, is computer consumable, and that's where a lot of the stipulations and standardizations of resumes come into play. You're already doing a lot of that fine. You've got clearly labeled sections, you've got a one-column layout, everything's highlightable and looks like it's highlightable in the correct order, which is where folks who make resumes and design applications like Figma, that's one of the core things they struggle with. So you're doing a lot of stuff totally accurate here. In regard to ATSs, I see no problems whatsoever. Why did I talk about ATSs? I was going somewhere with that, but I don't recall. I must have hit it along the way. Oh, the skill section, right. So the reason the skill section is important nowadays is because ATSs are very key phrase heavy, as in we want to maximize the percentage of key phrases on the resume versus the key phrases on the job application. And that's where the skill section is weirdly impactful nowadays. So because part of the target audience for the skill section is the ATS and less about humans, that's why we toss it at the bottom of the resume.
Okay, gotcha.
A freelance product designer, self-employed. Let's come back to this section because that one is going to be a little bit tricky. But account manager, manage relationships with 25 clients, translating insights into product decisions, built journey maps and presentation to communicate client needs to product and engineering teams, resulting in 3 major UX improvements. Cool. Analyzed user adoption data to identify friction points in the onboarding flow, leading to the redesign that increased feature activation by 34%. Better. So this is your best bullet point so far. So a couple of opportunities for improvement here. These first couple of bullets are closer at describing the industry of UX than they are describing you. So this first one, like manage 25 clients, that's a you thing. But then translating insights into product decisions, that's just a UX thing. So the quandary with writing bullets in this fashion is that it doesn't differentiate you from the other folks in the hiring manager pile of resumes. So we'd want to negotiate the terminology here to specifically talk about your wins and achievements in your career and not just like what UX, the industry of UX is expecting. Did we talk about a what, how, why approach to writing bullets?
Yeah, I think you touched a bit about that, but we can still go into that,
Yeah. Let's take that good bullet point that you have here. Analyze user adoption. All right, let's take a look at this one. Analyzed user adoption data to identify friction points in the onboarding flow is the what you did. So you're starting with the what. Leading to a redesign that increased feature activation by 34% is the why you did it. So we're currently missing a how. And it's also in an order that I think is a little tricky. So let's try this. Let's modify this into a why, how, what approach to writing bullet points. So if we were to follow that format, we would say increased feature activation by 34%, leading to a redesign that analyzed user adoption data to identify friction points in the onboarding flow. Bam. Minus a couple of spelling hurdles here. So we went from analyze user adoption data to identify friction points in the onboarding flow, leading to a redesign that increased feature activation by 34%. Two, increased feature activation by 34%, leading to a redesign that analyzed user adoption data to identify friction points in the onboarding flow. Why did we do this? So folks, just like your portfolio, are also skimming resumes. And it's important to state the most impactful thing that you did up front. No one in the world is going to hire you because you lead redesigns that analyze user data and identify friction points. They will absolutely hire you for increasing feature activation by 34%. So we're leading with the impact that we made on that business and the organization and the value that you provide. So by starting with that, or by starting with a why, how, what approach, really hard to write a bad bullet, and it forces you to start with all the impact and the best value that you have.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Is that making sense?
That makes lots of sense. That makes lots of sense. Yeah, that's a goal you're providing.
Yeah, man. So let's take a look. Let's go back to your resume. Collected and synthesized user feedback into actionable recommendations for the team. Couple of hurdles with this. A, it talks about generic UX and not you as an individual. And then B, it doesn't have any impact in there. There's no why, and it doesn't depict any like metric that you could potentially have that that suggests the value that you could provide for the hiring manager. And that feedback is probably going to, I'm looking at the rest of them. You've got some okay bullet points in here. But the feedback that I have in regard to why, how, what looks like it cascades to most of these.
All right. Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Do you feel like you'd be able to go back into this resume and rewrite some of these bullet points to follow that approach?
Definitely. I think that's what's going to be my task, for the night today, So yeah, I think I'm going to spend a couple of hours, today trying to see how I can reinvent this resume, Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. That said, you're doing a lot of stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff well here. So like education, for example, you've got the education section. You don't have dates on them, which is an interesting choice, but it has a lot of advantages. I think last time we talked about it, it was about ageism, and this prevents ageism. So there's some benefits there. I don't see any missing sections. People can identify who you are and find you pretty fast. Yeah, I think you're doing great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I was thinking about the freelance product design section. I was thinking of adding like links to the complete design, of these 3 product which I worked on, So what do you think about it? Do you think it's something I should do, or I should just try and just leave it that way?
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this back up because I forgot to go back to the freelance section. So where I struggle with the freelance section is you are currently depicting projects that you worked on. In my head, what I'm trying to challenge is what's more valuable, to depict and talk about projects that you worked on, or summarize your capability as a freelance designer and all the projects that you worked on into one bullet point or into several bullet points. So that's where I struggle. And I will be the first to admit I don't have a clean answer for you here because I don't have the freelance experience. My gut would say that I would prefer to see bullets that summarize who you are as an individual and not project-based. However, I haven't challenged that in the sense of if I were to write those bullet points, are those bullet points weaker than talking about individual projects? And I just don't have a good answer for that one. For the folks in the chat, for the freelancers out there, how do you do your freelance section of your resume? Do you do project-based, or do you summarize all of your projects into individual bullet points? Would love to know how you folks take care of that one.
Yeah, because I've been debating a lot, because I feel like, the first thing a hiring manager is going to see, it, it's the experience, and I have to be able to portray myself, through the experience as a qualified and suitable candidate, because the other experiences, are not really like UX experience. Yeah. So
Right. Right. Beyond that, man, I think you're doing fantastic. The only like nitpick I could potentially have is you've got accessibility here, which is awesome. You've got Ally. The only quandary that comes to mind is Ally as an organization as opposed to like a standard. So you may want to put WCAG there instead, which is like the universal standard of accessibility and not not a company. But beyond that, I think you're doing great.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback and everything.
Yeah. Are there any other pieces that we haven't talked about that you're looking to get specific feedback on?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be time for that. I have a case study there. The first one on my portfolio website. I wanted you guys to go through it. In one of the previous meeting, but you guys weren't able to do that. So I don't know if you can be able to do it today. Just quickly go through it.
Yeah, a full case study review. We'll probably have to take a look at that one next time if that's all right with you.
All right, definitely. I will. Yeah, definitely, it's okay. Yeah. So
yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate talking with you.
Thank you very much, Nate. I appreciate the feedback and everything. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Looking forward to talking again next week. Well, let me just ask real fast. I asked you how to pronounce your name a while back, and I believe it was Aliyu. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, Aliyu. Yeah, Aliyu. Yeah, it's accurate. Aliyu.
Perfect.
Yeah, Aliyu.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Aliyu, good talking with you, man. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. All right. Ebony is on an iPad now. So we're going to scout them and let's take a look.
Hello?
Ebony, hello.
Hello,
How
is
are
that
you?
better? Oh my God.
We can hear you once and only once.
Perfect.
How you been? Like, what are you up to?
Sorry.
What was going on with your computer? Any insight on what was going on?
I have no idea. I have a Logitech microphone. I don't know why it's not working because on my other servers it's working fine. Nobody can hear any echoing. So I'll look at that another time. In the meantime, I'll just be speaking on my iPad.
Fantastic. Well, to be fair, your Logitech was working twice, so it was working overtime.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got your portfolio up here. This is yours, right? The
Yes.
EMG Creative.
Yeah.
Perfect. What are your goals with this call?
So I just want to ask about portfolio feedback because I've been applying for a few jobs and they don't give me much feedback. So I was thinking maybe it's my portfolio, and I want to see if you could give me any advice or anything that can help me become more successful, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the role that you're looking to target?
Here's the thing. At the moment, I don't mind whichever role because, for example, an illustrator or just a visual artist or even a concept artist, actually, because I love like character design, but I don't have any at the moment in my portfolio because I just recently graduated, but I want to look more into it later on in future.
Got it. Okay. And what's your level? Are you entry level into the marketplace? Are you looking for something higher?
I am entry level. I think I want to start from a lower level just so I can work my way up, actually, because I'm not ready for the big levels yet.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, let me preface one of the quandaries I typically have with taking a look at creative portfolios is that I just don't have enough experience on the objectivity of validating that they solve your problem. So with UX and product design and UI portfolios, I have hired folks in the past there. I have worked with hiring managers. I know that process well, but I don't know the process in regard to the creative aspects of some like the more nuanced creative designs, the graphic designs, the illustrators, the visuals, the concept designers out there. So happy to take a look at this but know that it comes with an aura of ignorance about it. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine. All right.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And then for the other creatives in the chat, feel free to type in where I am missing insight, and
Yes,
particularly
please.
open a chat on here. So if you guys are thinking I'm saying something incorrectly here, feel free to challenge me on that. All right, let's take a look. Looks like it's a one pager, or rather, there's no scroll on this side.
Yeah.
Beautiful site. I'm looking at it on a 4K. Is that going to screw up things if I move this down?
I think so. I'm still not. I have no idea about web designs or anything like that. So, I think it won't. Okay, yes, it does because my logo is it's not there. So if you were
freaked out a
to,
bit.
if you was to minimize the page, I think the logo will disappear. So I can't do anything to fix that, to be honest.
Nice. Okay. What application did you make this in?
There's this website called ReadyMag.
ReadyMag. Okay. It sounds like it's got pre-built templates that you can just insert your stuff into.
Yeah, or you can build it off by scratch, which I did with this website.
Ah, got it. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. About.
Yep.
Hello. Ebony Marie Gibbs.
Hence the EMG.
Making sense. All right, cool. Yeah, there you are. LinkedIn, email, Instagram, fantastic. Projects. So this is, if I were looking at a product design portfolio, this is where I would start.
Yeah.
Projects, taking a look at the storytelling and the process stuff here. But I don't know how much process one communicates here. Do you typically talk about process in the world of art?
We do. But it's just about the issue I have is like, how much should I say? That's what I'm not too sure on, because I feel like I should keep it concise and let the artwork speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Process part, the magic blender modeling. Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. And this is now where I will struggle, as in I don't know all the checkboxes that one needs to communicate in order to present yourself at a professional level in the creative space here. So I can just tell you that it looks fantastic. I'm not seeing any dramatic problems here. Let's see, let's look at your contact. Gotcha. Mega contact form. Holy moly. Okay.
Sorry, I don't even know why that scroll is like that. That's a bit weird. I need to fix that.
Sure. But then LinkedIn, Instagram. So I can find you pretty fast. And then I also know it was at the bottom of the about page. I was fearful that it was hiding at the bottom of the about page. But it looks like you've got it in contacts too, so you're fine there. Post Ebony, I don't know how much more I have for you. How are you how are you feeling so far? Am I providing any value whatsoever?
To be honest, I think maybe it's making me feel like it's just maybe it's not me that's the problem then. Sorry, joking.
Not saying that's not the case.
I think I just need to maybe put more works or something. I don't know, maybe it's just too little, maybe not enough works to show my skill set enough, I think.
Are you fearful that the current projects don't communicate your skill set well enough?
I think so, yeah, because this is all of my projects from university. It's not something that I've recently done.
Okay. The only potential friction point that I'm seeing, which is a real minute thing, kind of, is that the imagery that you have is heavy and the site is taking a bit to load.
Oh.
Which, in regard to hiring managers and recruiters who have 40 tabs open and they're looking through all the candidates, that could be a friction point for you.
Oh.
So, there's a conversation about condensing image space and image size, but, what a boring thing to talk about.
Oh, I'm not sure if I could condense it any smaller, though. I don't really know how to do that.
Let's see. Is this going to give me some insight? Oh my God, it's massive. Yeah, you can condense this. And then if we look at, right, Chrome doesn't have any properties panels. Well, anyway, I'm going to guess that the image file size here can be condensed dramatically.
Mhm.
Would be my speculation. But then you would have to do that for like all of your photos, and I imagine you have hundreds in here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right, let me look at the chat. I am out of stuff to say in regard to the creative space that you're in. I just don't have the insight for you. I'm looking at the chat to see if anybody has any advanced knowledge that I don't in the in potential directions for you.
I'm
People
looking
seem to
as
love your
well.
work.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, Ebony, I
Yep.
feel like we really hyped up talking with you, and I feel like I fell flat in regard to providing you value. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I'm just trying to create a roadmap because I have no idea what to do next, actually, to be honest. I don't know if I should focus on my skill sets, if I should just go straight into the job, because searching and it hasn't been good so far. So I was thinking maybe I could just work more on my skills until I create a better portfolio than what I have now, or just to do a master's degree right now. So I'm a bit, not sure.
Yeah. Are you applying for jobs currently?
Yes, and it hasn't been successful.
Okay. If that's the case, then the next thing I would point at would be your resume.
Oh,
We don't have time to look at that today, but how's your resume doing? Do you feel like it's in a presentable fashion?
well, it's funny because he did talk about ATS, and I have access to a ATS checker or something like that to score your CV. And so far, I got a score of like 80, between 80 and 90%, I think, which is pretty good. If I'm able to screen share, I can show you what it looks like now, but I don't know if we have time.
Yeah, I don't think you even have the capability of screen sharing.
Oh, okay.
On Discord stage. Yeah, this Discord stage thing provides us a lot of benefits. It comes with a lot of constraints too that we have to work around.
Okay.
Happy to take a look at your resume. I know you were here last week and we didn't quite get to you. Are
Yes.
you okay if we take a look at that next week?
Yeah, sure. I should be available for that.
Okay. What application are you using for that measurement, that success measurement?
Photoshop.
No, your resume.
Oh, where is it?
ATS
Oh,
scan.
sorry about that. My university provided it to me. Oh, I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I think it was called CV something. I can't remember, but if so, I'll put it in the chat and then I don't know if you'll look at it.
Yeah, if you end up finding the name, tag me in the chat and type it in there. The
Okay.
reason I'm asking about it is that all ATSs work differently. They all have different feasibilities and features and capabilities and mindsets. So the percentage score that you're getting from the ATS application that you're currently using won't be universal across all ATSs. Furthermore, the percentage that one rates a resume on is typically based more on job description than it is on like the general formalities of the resume. So while you may be scoring an 80% for your current resume, it'll be significantly lower or higher depending on what job description it's being compared to, if that makes sense.
Okay, I see. Thank you so much, Nate. I feel fine though. The feedback's good. I think I know what to do, kind of, because I see from the chat as well. A lot of people make a lot of suggestions, so I'll be talking with them as well. Thank you, though.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad other people have insight for you.
Thank
Ebony,
you.
really appreciate the time. Good talking with you.
Bye.
All right. Lalith, I think, is next, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Lalith? If you're still out there, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I got to scour through the folk. Although the folks are fading fast, which just makes it easier for me. Lalith, there you are. I found you. Invite to speak. Hello. If you are currently talking, I can't currently hear you. Oh, looks like they're aware of the problem. just see Tonme talking. I can push. You can push mine at last. I don't know what that means. What am I pushing? Oh my God, Aurora! Thank you so much. Good Lord, that is so helpful. Man, if I had brownie points to give out, I would give you so many. Laylath, where'd you go? Are you still in the chat? Are you still in the audience somewhere? Did they just take off? They got cold feet. Done with this. All right, we're moving on then. Moving on to the next one. If Laylath comes back. All right, cool. Let's see. Next on the list is Hamza. And then I'm just going to paste in what Aurora. My YouTube stream has crashed, which is a bummer. And I don't have the capability of fixing that right now. All right, next up. Oh, thumbs up. Oh, no. It pasted in so poorly. I'll just add it to Notion for now. All right, Hamza's next. Hamza, where are you at? Did you raise your hand? Hamza, are you gone too? That can't be right. Why is everyone leaving me? Do they not want to hang out? Hamza's gone, I think. All right, we're going to move on to Yanshika. Yanshika. Ah, found you. Yanshika, I'm inviting you to speak. Hello. Yanshika, you're currently muted if you're trying to talk. I can see your thing. I don't currently hear you. Is it just me? 2 in a row is weird. Can everybody else hear Yanshika, or is it just me? No audio. Weird that we got 2 in a row. That's just bad luck. Yanshika, I'm so sorry that we can't hear you. Hey, I'm going to move on to the next one. I see you coming on and off mute, so it looks like you're aware of the problem and you're trying to resolve it, though you're currently muted. Let me ping you after the next one, and we'll see if you've got something resolved. All right, Fiat Lux, are you out there somewhere? If so, raise your hand. I could find you. Is Fiat gone too? Oh, there you are. Hey, man. Invite to speak. It makes you wonder how many others I just can't find. Fiat, hello. Hey, how are you? Oh. Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I hear clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Let's see. We can hear you mostly, I think. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've been on this space before. Just decided to join when I saw the notification.
Perfect. Yeah, we can hear you fine. Welcome. Well, you said you've been on here before.
Yeah, I am.
Fantastic. Did we take a look at your artifacts before, a portfolio resume?
No, it was not ready by then.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Well, give us a little bit of context. What's your goal? What are your goals with this call?
Just to see if the community can review my portfolio and let me hear their intakes on it. Oh, high voltage. See your chat.
Let's see here. Yeah, fantastic. Ari, give me some context about you. You're in the product design space of some kind?
Yeah, I'm in the product design space. I do mostly design and motion in general. I love the design process. Everything design, basically. I started off as a UI UX, then because of the market space and niches, I just moved off to product because it happens to be that sometimes when I get hired, they will need some extra services and I'll not be able to offer those. So they'll get another person. So I just started to learn it all. So once I'm hired, if you need the motion or you need the design, if you need the visual design or the web design or the app design, I could just get it done for you.
Gotcha. So you're kind of a renaissance man. You wear many hats.
And
Nice. Okay. What are your goals with this call? Are you looking to get your portfolio reviewed, or should we focus more on a case study?
yeah, it's gonna it's still in development. I'll see if it's involved uploading the project to it. I want the community to just review it through and tell me what their take is on it. If there's something I can change for publishing it out for other people to see.
Would you be able to say that one more time? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I just want the community to look through and tell me what their take is on. If there's something I can change or there's something I can add to it before I publish it out for everyone to see.
Nice. Okay, cool. So in order for us to best talk about whether or not we think your portfolio is effective at solving a particular thing, we need to know more about what your goals are. So for example, if your goal is to get hired at an organization and target a product design position, for example, we can then provide feedback on whether or not your portfolio best presents you for that positioning. So tell us more about what your goals are as an individual. Are you trying to get hired somewhere?
Yeah, basically the portfolio is for me to get hired and for hires, those are hiring to see my skill set and what I can do.
At a larger organization, do you have a target at all?
Yeah, I have a target of maybe company kind of.
Okay, and what level are you targeting the job title product designer?
Intermediate level.
Mid-level product designer.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Let's see. Let's take a look here. I'm going to let's look at your homepage for a moment, but then realistically, I want to pivot right to a case study, which looks like it's entitled Feature Projects. So hero section looks beautiful, available for work, product designer. Some call it design, I call it storytelling, cute. Get in touch. Gotcha. And these, okay. So a recruiter and a hiring manager, the first thing they're going to want to do is take a look at your homepage and then scroll down and find case study number 1. And I think you have that here, but it's not currently labeled. Are these your case studies?
Yeah, they're my featured project. I've not uploaded any case studies yet. The just project I've worked on for design. Like I said, I'm still uploading projects to it, and I'll rearrange it.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. If I scroll down, skill set, and then, and these are individual skill sets that you have. Branding, UX, UI, UX, motion design, logo, character. Okay. And then here's you. Here's the little about section. Is this a one-pager? If I click on, it looks like it's supposed to be a one-pager, but the navigation doesn't fully function just yet.
Yeah, I'm still setting it up.
Got it. Okay. So if I were to click featured projects, it would ideally scroll me down to the case study section.
Yeah, that was what I planned to do with it.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Totally following. Aesthetically, you've got a lot going on here. And I don't talk about aesthetics a whole lot, but it could use some visual separation between sections. And then potentially some labeling. Like if this is your featured project section, would love to see a sorry. If this is your featured project section, would love to see a label on it just so I know what these are.
Okay. Label like the name or what?
Just the title. Like featured, like if there were a title here in an H2 or something that said featured projects, I would now be anchored into understanding the motivation of this section. And then I could either dive more deeply into it or move on. The fear I'm having is that the recruiters and the HR folks and the hiring managers, they're, ooh, wow, look at it, it's freaking out. It's freaking out at me there. The personas that we're wanting to target, their goals are to take a look at your featured projects. That's their priority number one. So at the moment, we're kind of hiding the featured projects a little bit. So I just want to call more attention to them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at case study number 1 here. Looks like it took a second to load. Overview, logo, visual identity. And I'm looking at this on a 4K screen. I'm gonna enhance the type size here. It looks like it's pretty small. Logo, visual identity. Got it. Okay, cool. Mascot, let me go back and take a look at the other ones real fast. Ooh, no, it's too big. Let me go back to 0. I notice when I come here, it starts with a black section. Does it not load until I scroll down?
It's supposed to load as you're scrolling through. I don't know where the trigger is. Okay. Maybe just your lap screen, the trigger is a bit lower than usual. I don't know.
I don't either. Looks like it could use a little improvement there. Overview, tools I used, logo, visual identity, mascot character designs. Okay. UI design layer. All right, cool. So you've got a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of cool stuff. Visually, your presentation is fantastic. Your imagery is super aesthetic, and it's lovely to look at. It's very artistic in nature. One of the quandaries I'm having is if your goal is to target product design, a product design position, particularly mid-level at a larger organization, then we're missing some key patterns that enable one to identify your skill set. At the moment, your portfolio is positioning you dramatically closer to that of a UI designer, if not a creative, like illustration, graphic design, for example. You've got some logo stuff in here. So this is closer to position you as a graphic designer than it is a product designer. If your goal is to position yourself as a product designer, then when I look at a case study, I'm looking for those 3 questions to get answered. Question number 1 is, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Question number 2 is, how did you go about solving that problem? And then question 3 being, how did you measure success that the problem was solved? Let me look at this. Looking at this case study, the deserialize, however one says that.
Yeah,
Do you have some assets that enables you to communicate like the problem you're trying to solve and how you went about solving the problem?
What do you mean by assets? Well, the Deserialize is actually live. It's a live site. I'm still on the team, matter of fact. So I don't know how to display that for my officials to see, but it's actually a live something we actually solved the problem on the Web3 space, which is why the project is live.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a logo and a visual identity here. The quandary is this is a solution to something. You rebranded, you built this lovely design as a solution to solving some sort of problem. If your goal is to target product design, I care more about why you chose to solve the problem in this way than I care about what the final solution looks like. So at the moment, we're only getting the visual artifacts that you built as a solution to solving a problem, but I care more about what the problem is and how you solve the problem and why you solved it in this way. Like why is this logo a solution to that problem? Why is the aesthetic here adhering to that particular target audience? Those kind of questions. Is that making sense?
Yeah, it's actually making sense because during the timeline of this project, it got to a time where I and the project manager were arguing about how the design should go about. So we put it out on the community. And then it was what the community went with that we just used to finish up people design and stuff.
Got it. Okay. Do you think do you have some capability to be able to talk more about that process and how you solved here? Are you able to like add some process stuff to this case study?
Visually or with text?
I might challenge that one. So if you have the ability to write text about it, then you likely also have the ability to visualize some of that textual data in a visual format of some kind. Where did oh man, where was, I wish I didn't close out of it. Can I go back to it real fast? Aliu. Here we go. This is Victor's stuff. We talked to Victor earlier, and this is, let's go to his case study number 1. So Victor's got a lot of textual content on here. However, check out this section at the top. He is displaying this textual content in a visually interesting way. Here's some early insights that he has, visually depicted differently from that of the solution. And this particular case study does really well at talking about how he went about solving a particular problem and guiding the user through his process well, I should say that this particular one had the opportunity to talk more about process, but in regard to like describing and storytelling of how he went about solving this particular problem, really interesting stuff here. Is this example making sense in regard to how one talks more about the business problems that he's trying to solve in regard to less about what the solution looks like and more about why the solution is being built in the way that it is?
Yeah. I totally understand.
Nice. Okay. Cool, man. Well, that would be, oh my God, where did your website go? Here we are. That would be priority number 1 then, is if your goal is to apply for product design, mid-level product design jobs right now, then priority number 1 on your portfolio would be, oh, I broke it somehow. Priority number 1 would be displaying your case studies in a way that talk about what the problem is you're trying to solve and the process by which you solve that problem. And because you're targeting mid-level, I would also want to see a section at the bottom that says, how did you measure success that the problem was in fact solved? So it's those 3 sections. That would be, if I were in your shoes, that would be priority number 1 for me to solve. How are you feeling about that? Do you feel like you've got some actionables to be able to tackle the next steps of your case study there?
Yeah. I understand. I think that would have been the best approach from the onset. Sometimes I feel like I thought those looking traits might not want to go through the struggles of reading through the long story. So that's why I decided to use more visuals than writing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. I don't have anything else for you for right now. I think that's the largest priority. And if you were to come back, if you're able to come back and have us take a look at your case study after you've worked on some of that, would love to take a look at it again. Are you able to do that?
Yeah, sure. I'll be able to do that. Thanks, man.
Excellent. Fia, pleasure talking with you, man. Really appreciate the time. All right. Going back to the list. Who was I talking with earlier? I think Lalith hopped back on. Lalith, are you out there again? Lalith, hello. I'm back. Switch device. Lalith, hello. Invite to speak. Appreciate you hitting the button for me there so I don't have to find you among all the folks. Lalith, are you there? Oh no. Lalith, I don't hear you still. A lot of technical difficulties today. Are the moons misaligned? Is the chakras out there? Are the chakras bad? Is it the vibes? It might just be fall, man. I'm bummed that fall is here and we're saying goodbye to summer. Lalith, I'm so sorry. I see you're there, but we just don't hear you. I'm looking at the clock. Happy to follow up with you again, but we may not have time to follow up. So I'm gonna put you back in the audience. But we'd love to talk with you again. If we don't talk with you today, feel free to ping me and we can do a one-on-one, or feel free to come back next Friday and hopefully we've got some technical stuff figured out at that point. All right. Uns. Couple of N's, couple of Z's out there. Is Uns? Unity, that's not you. Unless you change your name from Uns. Or if Aurora gave me a contaminated list. Oh, it is Unity. Okay. Oh, right. I'm so sorry, Uns. I forgot about Yanshika. Aurora is keeping me on target there. Fantastic, Aurora. More brownie points. Okay. Yeah. Yanshika, let me invite you to speak.
Can you hear me now?
Yanshika, hello. How are you?
I'm great. I would like to thank Aurora for helping me out with the audio problem.
Dude, Aurora's killing it out there. I wish I had like extra credit points to give. I don't have any power there, but I really appreciate you doing your thing. Yanshika, how do I pronounce your name?
Oh, that is the right pronunciation, Yanshika.
Perfect. Welcome. Glad to talk with you. What are your goals with the call today?
I am a very, very, very beginner. Like I just learned it everything and I'm just winging it right now. But I want to go into illustration particularly. I like going with images, but illustration is something that I love. And I want to know how I can make my portfolio better so that this kind of thing where the navigation is all off doesn't happen again.
Got it. Okay, cool. Targeting illustration. Were you here when I was talking with Ebony?
I was here, but my audio wasn't working from that time, so I couldn't hear anything and I couldn't see you either.
You couldn't hear or see me. It was full blindness. Fantastic. Let me give you. All right, so you're diving into an illustration, and what I described to Ebony is the same thing I'm about to describe to you, in that I don't know how to best provide value for you. So my background, well established in the product design world, I know how to look at product design portfolios and provide value and what the target audience is and build effectiveness into those. However, when it comes to the creative side of design, the illustrations, the concept artists, the graphic designers, for example, I struggle in knowing where I can best provide feedback because I don't really know what the objectives are and the target audience is. So happy to look at your portfolio, but it comes with a whole lot of ignorance. Is that okay?
Oh, yes, that's all right.
If you're open to it, I can provide a whole lot of value in regard to resumes if you're interested in pivoting to that. But if not, totally understand.
I do not know how that will work considering my resume is very incomplete at the moment.
Your resume is very what?
Incomplete, I don't know how that will work.
Got it. Okay, cool. So so illustration, you're targeting illustration. Is there a particular title that you're specifically targeting?
As in, could you elaborate?
Yeah, so when I'm talking with product folk, I like to specify, I'm targeting a mid-level UX design position. And then I know the level of effort that I'm looking to establish and position you around. So like, are you targeting as a creative, are you targeting like illustration? Is there a title that you typically most target? Or is it just straight illustrator?
Yes, just straight illustrator. As I said, I'm very beginner. I don't know anything.
You and I both. Okay. A graphic designer based in India. Now we do see the words graphic designer here. Is that positioning effective for you?
I am happy to work in graphic design. My specialization is in illustration, yes, but I want to be able to generalize myself.
Got it. Okay. Generalization is interesting, and it comes with a myriad of advantages and disadvantages. Is your goal with generalization the ability to get a job to not turn down jobs that you could move into any job and have an employment? Is that your goal with generalization?
Yes.
Okay. One of the quandaries you will likely fall into is that with generalization comes generic. It comes an aura of generic. And this has advantages and disadvantages. Being a generalist is totally okay. I myself would call myself more of a generalist than a specialist. However, it means that if you are targeting or applying for a particular role and any other candidate has more specializations in that role than you, then you are immediately disadvantaged in getting that role. So the larger your target audience, the less effective you are at applying for jobs, despite there being more jobs available for you to apply to. Are you familiar with all of that conversation so far? Or is that
Yes,
all brand
I
new,
am.
or you know all of that?
Oh no, I understand you perfectly.
Got it. All right, cool. So yeah, generalism, advantages and disadvantages. In regard to your portfolio, it looks like it's just a single page here. One of the first things I'm looking for is contact info. Does one have the ability to contact you on your site?
Instagram link.
Is there an Instagram link somewhere?
Yes, the element which is highlighted by the yellow things. Is it not
looks
working?
like it's kind of working. It's really hard to hear. Can I zoom in? Enhance. It's working a little bit. It's a few pixels tall. Are you able to see my cursor?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so it looks like it's not a full. It looks like it's not a full image link. But it looks like this does in fact link to your Instagram. Perfect. Okay, so we've got a way to contact you. A graphic designer based in India. It is hard to read with your yellow background here. Advanced
Okay.
proficiency in Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. Hey, me too. Although I haven't used them in a long time, I'm certified in both Illustrator and Photoshop. Though it's so strange that I spent so long getting my certifications in those things and I haven't opened them up in years now. I focus on creating refined, visually compelling and functional design solutions tailored to diverse client needs. Cool. So your value prop is as expected in regard to generalism. One of the things that Tim and I like to talk about, Tim's the other host that I typically talk with here on Fridays. We talk about the ability to write a value prop that describes A, who you are and what you do, and then B, what are you trying to target? So if your goal is generalism, as in targeting all of the industries, your value prop probably can't get much more specific than this. The quandary there being that you are currently advertising the world of graphic design. So it's not advertising you and your particular skill sets, it's advertising that of the industry. So it doesn't differentiate you at all. And that's the sliding scale of advantages and disadvantages that you play with when you're dealing with specialization versus generalization. At the moment, you are heavily on the generalistic side, which means you've got a myriad of jobs to apply to and probably low chance of getting any of them. So if you were able to take that sliding scale further away from generalism and closer towards some sort of target audience, then you'd be more effective at positioning yourself for those audiences, of course. Beyond that, I don't have a whole lot more insight in regard to the world of illustration. In the product design realm, hiring managers are typically looking at case studies. They want to look at a case study and validate some specific things. The world of illustration, I don't know what that looks like. Are there any specific quandaries or like difficulties or friction points you have with your website that you think needs challenge?
As you have mentioned that my portfolio only has one page, and I feel like this is very short to engage a person, a client. And as you have already mentioned, the generalization part, that is what also worries me because, well, I have applied for many jobs and I didn't get any. So those things were the ones that were making it problematic. And of course, the first page thing. How can I improve on that? That is.
Yeah. Yes. So it sounds like you are attempting to enter the funnel of getting hired in an organization and you are falling short fairly abruptly. And when that occurs, we would typically look at the portfolio first, we'd look at the resume first, followed by the portfolio. And I know your resume is still under construction. Portfolio wise, this is where my wisdom falls short. Like, there are certainly things we can talk about in regard to modern web design and UI and aesthetic work. We can certainly talk about that, but it's less of a priority than it is talking about how one positions you effectively toward the target audience that you're after. And I just don't know enough about your target audience. Yanchika, I don't know that I can provide any more value for you. Is that okay? I'm so sorry that it's coming up short. But I don't know how much more effective or how much more wisdom I possibly have to share with you.
That is all right because I got my answer. I need to specialize a bit more before I go in. So it's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, when it comes to specialization, so my education is in marketing. A lot of conversations around specialization and target audience. Love your mindset is that there. And why am I blurry? Love your mindset in regard to the desire to specialize. So totally appreciate where you're heading there. Yanchika, really appreciate the time. I'm sorry I couldn't have been more value for you.
Oh, no, that's all right. Thank you.
Sure thing. Take care. All right. Looking back to the list, let's take a look. Uns, who now goes by Unity. I understand.
Hey.
Oh, wait. Uns, hello. I'm
Hi,
seeing that
can you hear me?
Laylath. I can. I'm
Oh, it's
so
fine,
sorry.
it's
I'm
fine.
seeing
It's all
that
right.
that Laylath is back. Okay. Hey, but hang out. If we've got some time, I'd love to come back to you.
Of course, yeah.
All right,
Hey,
Laylath.
Nate. Yeah.
Laylath,
Thank
hello.
God it's working finally.
What was the hurdle? What did you overcome?
It was my system settings again. Like, yeah, Aurora helped me a lot. Thanks for that.
It was just was it Discord shenanigans or something broader?
The system settings, like the microphone was not allowed to use system mic.
Oh, wow. It was deep OS level stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Welcome. Stoked that we were able to connect and make this work. What are your goals with today's call?
So like I recently shifted from Behance to my own website. So I would really appreciate if you look into the landing page and give me any tips on that. And also there is a case study below if you can take a look at that as well and give me some insights, like is it industry like industrial based or not, like I'm looking at a mid to senior level of expertise here. So yeah,
Mid to senior level under what job title?
it's a product design.
Product design.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool, man. You summarized that so well. I think I learned all the important factors there.
Yeah.
Going from Behance to personal website, that's fantastic. I see it's a Framer site. Tim loves talking about Framer. I have little experience with it, but my current website is built in WordPress. It's a solid 15 years old, and when I redo it, I will be transitioning to Framer.
Cool.
How did you like it? How did you like Framer moving from Behance?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's like a 100x boost, say, because Behance was like just a project overview, but this is like gonna tell everything about me, like the methods I use, the tools I use, and everything. So I
Heck
would
yeah.
say it's 100x.
All right, cool. Hey, am I pronouncing your name correctly, Laylath?
Lalit.
Lalit.
Yeah, Lalit.
Lalit, excellent. I wasn't close. I'm glad I asked. Hello, I'm Lalit, a product designer with 5+ years experience, 5+ years driven by curiosity, collaboration, design thinking, crafting, intuitive experiences across AI tools, SaaS platforms, and digital products. Cool. The value prop, it's okay. One of the quandaries with this value prop is that it's closer to describing the generic industry of product design than it is describing you. So if you're able to talk more about you and what you're trying to target, then it'll be a more effective value prop. But otherwise, this introduces who and what you are perfectly fine.
Okay, got it.
This section up here, about me, product design, I thought it was like a tab up here. Am I supposed to be able to click on that?
Nah, it's not a tab actually. It's a tag.
Oh, okay, cool. Dope. So I'm hearing generic general portfolio review and then dive into a case study. So let's take a quick look. Now, Tim's not here. Have you been to one of these sessions before?
Nah, it's my first time.
Oh, yeah. Usually hang out with there's usually a co-host named Tim. Tim's much more capable in the framer space than I am. And the absolute first thing he will talk about is scroll hijacking. I will say it just in his honor, though I don't have strong opinions on it. Tim loathes scroll jacking. And as we do quantitative feedback here in these chats, we're learning that most people also don't like scroll jacking. Just FYI.
Got it.
That's it. I have no objective answers for you. Like WCAG has some stipulations around scroll jacking, but it's just in regard to not prohibiting the use of other external tools from utilizing the scroll. And that's rarely the case. So there's no objective stuff there. It's just what people like. Let's see. Tools I master to craft every pixel from wireframes to motion. Okay. Crafted with these. Where does this button take me? To your portfolio. Okay. So the target audiences that we typically account for, recruiters, hiring managers, their goal is to look at your portfolio as the first thing. Like they'll look at your their homepage, they'll scroll down and they'll try to find portfolio case study number 1, and they'll click on that. And that's going to be the funnel that we're trying to best accommodate. So the tools that you master, that's great, but it's a distraction currently from seeing your case studies. Showcasing my best work with peer. So here are your case studies.
Yeah.
Got it. And then you've got your resume linked there. Interesting. Cool. And then watch now. Looks like we've got a little bit of visual bug there, but well, it's well. Oh.
Just a bug though. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a visual bug there. Whatever.
Okay.
All the technical stuff you can work on.
Yeah.
Cool. So 4 case studies and then a footer at the bottom, ready to transform ideas into seamless user experiences. And then a little about you. Let's look at your about page real fast before I dive into portfolio. Bold ideas, seamless journeys. So this is fine. Hold on. Building experiences one role at a time. So the about page, were you here earlier when I was describing the target audience to the about page?
Yeah, I did. And I did made some points on it, like,
Perfect. Yeah, I won't repeat myself then. The quick, the TLDR there is, would love to see more about you as a personality than like the generic about stuff. The goal there being would I enjoy hanging out with you for 8 hours a day? Would I share a cubicle wall with you? Would I want to work with you? Would love to see some of that stuff. And then contact. Very fancy contact form. Look at all these gradients. Balit. Cool. Yeah. India. Fantastic. And you put your phone number on there. Cool. All right, let's look at the portfolio. And I'm going to look at case study number 1, unless you want to talk about a specific case study.
The third one.
The third one. Okay.
Yeah.
Typically, folks will just look at the first case study and then close out. So if the third one's your most important one, you may want to scoot that one to the top.
Yeah, got it.
Agent workflows. Oh yeah, you're hopping into AI, which is just all the talk right now, whatever that phrase is.
Yeah.
Agent workflows making AI collaboration simple. Cool. Great title. That's a great hook. One of a kind workflow builder that lets enterprise create and connect AI agents. Agentic workflows are very cool. And I don't know how organizations are best utilizing them or how they could best utilize them. But what a cool technology it is.
Yeah.
I work in corporate healthcare, and we are diving into agentic workflows for users.
Really good, yeah.
Context, user goals, empathy map. Okay. A style guide. Okay. User flows. And you are looking to target mid to senior level product design. Okay.
Yeah.
The challenge. Research and insights, prototype and iteration. Great. So you've got a lot of the sections here. There is some potential rearranging I might do. More in other case studies. So you've got a CTA at the bottom. Cool. Reflections and learning. Sure. Let's see. So when I'm looking at case studies, I'm looking to answer the 3 questions. I think you've heard me talk about them multiple times so far today. Question number 1 is, what's the problem you were trying to solve? And you do answer that, it looks like, but not till way down here. So the hurdle is, unless I understand what problem you're trying to solve, none of your decisions make any sense until I understand like data management and table management.
Mhm.
Create multiple agents. Yeah, okay. So yeah, these are goals that the user has, but it's not the business problem that you're trying to solve. So just a missing section there.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So section number 1, or the question number 1, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Question number 2 is, how did you go about solving that problem? And now you've got a bunch of this as well, just not in the order that I expected. So empathy mapping, expected to see that. Then you dive into style guide, didn't expect to see that. This is a solution to targeting a particular audience. So I would have expected to see that lower. And then you've got user flow, which is awesome, would expect to see that higher. That's an asset to understanding what's the problem you're trying to solve and like what a potential framework on how that problem is solved.
Mhm.
By the way, great visualization here of this user flow. What did you personally make this, or did you plug that into an application?
Yeah, I did personally. Like I used Figma for that.
That looks great, man. Great artistic touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, research and insights, would love to see that higher up. That's part of your that might be section number 2, really. Is like, hey, what's the problem you're trying to solve? Then number 2, research and insights, and then empathy mapping could be a subsection of research and insights.
Got it.
You've got a lot of stuff here, man. This is great. It's just in a unusual order. Prototyping iteration, this feels like it's more in a correct place, closer toward the bottom. So this comes after you've done the discovery, all the empathy mapping, the user flows. I would have expected to see some sort of iterations before the prototyping, unless you're in a lean environment in which the application itself. Are you in a like an agile lean environment in your building of this?
Not exactly.
Okay. For the other folks on the call, agile environments, or environments that heavily lean into agile philosophies, often state that the live developed piece of software becomes the prototype itself. So you're prototyping live software, though there are typically only a couple of weeks of effort between each iteration. So it's like you're doing a lot of quick test and measure. Collaboration and handoff. Cool. Hey, you're doing so much stuff right here. So you've got the biggest hurdle, the biggest conundrum I'm seeing is just the order of operations in your storytelling. Were you here earlier when I was describing the titles of sections feeling more like checkboxes than storytelling?
Yeah, I was.
Perfect. So you've got some of that conundrum as well. If you're able to reorient these titles away from like checkbox sections and more like, what's the problem you're trying to solve here? Developed 2 key personas, client iteration or client interviews. So this section could be something like understanding users' day-to-day efforts and why their problem exists. Like a quick synopsis title like that would do really well at those skimming your portfolio,
Yeah.
which is most people.
Got it. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Outside of that, man, you're doing a lot of stuff here really well. I think your image to text ratio is also solid. There are some sections here that feel potentially textually heavy, but if your goal is mid-level senior product design, I don't think that's a friction point. I think the higher elevation you get, the more we will rely on textual data content over imagery. That said, if you are ever able to translate some of your textual content and display it in a visual form of some kind, even if it's like still textual content, but it just looks slightly different. If you're able to visualize it a little bit more elegantly or aesthetically, for lack of a phrase, if you're able to achieve some of that, always lean toward that. But I don't think your current the quantity of your textual content is a problem.
Got it. Like a matrix, you mean, right? Like some numberings and all.
Say that again?
like the matrix, like like the numberings and all, like like what is the percentage of the thing and all.
Metrics are great. Where'd Victor's back in the chat? Victor, what was your website again? If I just type in Victor, is this it? Yeah, cool. Victor did a thing here where if we look at his case study, he is displaying textual content just in a different visual form. So it's like, it's not even an image. It's not even visually designed in Figma. It just happens to look aesthetically different. So like even something like that would be perfectly fine.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool, man. I don't think I've got anything else for you. You're doing a lot of stuff really well here.
Thanks.
I think your priorities would be to focus on the storytelling, rearrange the sections to answer the questions in order. What's the problem you're trying to solve? How did you solve that problem? And then how did you measure that the problem was successfully solved? Do you have a metrics section or a success validation section at all?
No, not here. Like, yeah, I can see that I'm
Gotcha.
missing that. Yeah, got it.
Normally not a huge deal. If your goal is targeting mid-level and above, then it becomes more of a big deal. So if you've got metrics to measure the impact there, that would be priority number 2 for you after you do the storytelling.
Yep, awesome. Thank you. And could you
Cool, man.
just give it a quick look to my resume also, like it's on the top. Get my resume.
Happy to look at this. I'm looking at the clock. We've got 2 minutes left, so we won't have time to look at anybody else today. I'm so sorry. Who was it? Uns. I'm so sorry, Uns, for teasing looking at your stuff there, but feel free to come back and join us next Friday. Let's take a look at the resume. Let me sign off real fast and then I'll keep going. For everybody new here, we do this every Friday at 11 Pacific Standard Time, 11 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Would love to see all of you again. If you weren't able to get your stuff reviewed today and you're on the list, please come again early next Friday. I usually open the chat 10 minutes, 15 minutes early, and that's where the early birds thrust in their artifacts to review. And that's who gets top of the list. Would love to see all of you again. Cool. We also have a YouTube channel. It's linked in the chat somewhere. It's the very top. I say that with some hesitation in the sense that it looks like the YouTube stream crashed today. So if you want to subscribe to the Design Shaped YouTube channel, would love to see you. But today's session will likely not be recorded, which is a bummer. All right. Lalit, heading back to your resume. Happy to open this up. I don't think that this is being recorded effectively, but are you comfortable opening the resume and showing it to the rest of the world just in case it is being recorded?
Totally fine.
Cool. Let's see. Product designer, UX, UI specialist. So you've got 2 different targets there. Product focused UX designer with 5+ years experience. Okay. A description section at the top. You start with experience next. There's a conversation in here about ATS. Contract. And then 2 pages, education, skills, tools. All right, cool. And your portfolio is not at the top? It's not at the top. What is Hyderabad? Is that your location?
Yeah, it's my location, the city I live.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Couple of things to talk about here. Let's talk about what's the priority here? Let's talk about the application first. The first thing I'm noticing is that the application in which you design this is going to struggle being parsed by an ATS. And I can show you exactly why. I'm going to zoom way out here with just a goal of highlighting all of your stuff. So if I take all of this and highlight, am I even struggling to highlight it all? Can I just hit Control A? I can't even hit Control A. So if can I get, let's try that. I'm only getting a piece at a time. So I'm going to paste in your resume into a generic notepad here. And what I'm expecting to see is that the information is ordered incorrectly. Let me make this bigger so it's consumable.
Yeah.
actually doesn't. It doesn't look that's like it's that far off. Although there's some oddity stuff going on here. What application did you build your resume in?
I use Figma itself.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So one of the actually this looks better than I expected, despite having like some weird highlighting capability here. So what I'm expected to see is that the information as it's being parsed through the ATS is being consumed in an order that's inappropriate. As in, I expected to see like your first job not being displayed correctly and your experience section being located elsewhere. And it looks like we do have some difficulties, but it's actually doing better than I expected. Your call to action there will likely be to escape Figma and go with a word processing application of some kind. I hate to say it, but like Microsoft Word or Google Docs are kind of the go-tos at the moment, despite them both being real mediocre applications, real like fundamental applications.
Got it. Yeah.
The benefit there being it ensures that your resume is consumable by an ATS. I had a speech about ATSs like an hour and a half ago. Did you happen to be here and hear some of that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, great. Cool. Let's talk about this description at the very top of your resume. So descriptions are interesting. I didn't have any strong opinions on personal descriptions, so I reached out to a bunch of HR folks and a bunch of hiring managers to gain their knowledge on whether or not they value personal descriptions. And the feedback that I got was that for the most part, personal descriptions are usually useless, except for some exceptions. The quandary is that personal descriptions are typically subjective in nature. Now, yours is 50-50. So if you look at your first sentence, product designer focused UX, UI designer with 5+ years experience in B2B SaaS and AI products. That is an objective statement. That's just a fact about you. You then follow it up with subjectivity. I simplify complex workflows and into intuitive experiences that boost adoption, reduce friction, drive business outcomes. Now you're describing the industry of UX. That's not describing you. That's just describing what UX design does. So the hiring managers that I've spoken with, they will argue that this description doesn't add any value for you because A, half of it's subjective, and then B, the objective stuff you do have is already notable in your work experience, which is going to be the first thing they look at anyway. So for you, I think that the personal description at the top, I think that's a distraction for you. Would also love to see your portfolio link at the top. Is there a reason you put it at the very bottom?
Not particularly. Like actually, even I'm noticing it now. Like, why did I put it in the below?
Yeah, that deserves to be at the top. That's contact 101. They'll need to see that right up here. Yeah, right after your email and before your phone number, probably even.
Yep.
All right, cool. Professional experience. This should be a job or section number 1. Hey, let's talk about product designer versus UX UI design real fast. I'm curious why you're putting all 3 job titles on there. Do you have a reason behind that, or is it just sort of like whatever catches the fish kind of thing?
So basically, like it's a project based, like they already have a product and they're looking for a UI and UX particularly, or they have a product idea and like they want they want like a founding product designer. So basically, that was the ideal goal.
Are you targeting specifically product design, or the hurdle I'm trying to solve here is that product designer and UX UI, these are 3 different job titles with 3 different job descriptions. And it looks like you're trying to target all 3, which muddies your resume. So I'm looking to target one of them.
Oh, okay. I was targeting like all of them though.
Are you familiar with, I've got a speech about the differences between these titles. Would you find value in talking about what the differences are, or would you rather focus on the resume?
Yeah, but like I would appreciate you, if you just give me a speech on that.
Yeah, maybe speech isn't the right word. Let me pull up. Well, let's go to areas. Mentorship. No, not mentorship. UX resources. Concepts and models. This guy. So I should preface this image with every person you ask about how this graphic works is going to give you a different answer. This is my perception on how I think the industry is defining and plateauing these job titles.
Mm-hmm.
All that said, it's not unusual for a job title at company A to have a different description than at company B. Like you ask, this is like a common thing. An engineer at company A may be a completely different skill set than an engineer at company B, right? So it's like these job titles not fully aligning is also an industry standard as well. A UI designer, in my perception of the industry, is tactical in nature. And note this graph on the very bottom that goes tactical to the left and more strategic to the right. UI designers are very action-oriented, as in there is a particular interface that one needs designing for. These are the folk that are going to better understand the users and design that interface. A UX designer also has the skill sets of a UI designer, but then targets much more heavily on the user needs. What are the outcomes they're looking to solve for? What are the behaviors we're looking to change? And a UX designer does their best at best understanding the target audience and then providing that information to a UI designer, or then building a UI that accompanies that. A product designer, moving on a higher strategic level, rather than focusing on user outcomes, is now focusing on business outcomes. Here are the business goals that we have in this new product that we're trying to push. Here's how one goes about facilitating a particular product team through analyzing what portions of a product need to be prioritized and built first. So now we're solving business problems more than we're solving UX and UI problems. So note that in my perception, a product designer has the skill sets of UX and UI, but they don't focus on it as heavily. The further to the right on this graph you get, the further removed you are from doing the other skill sets. So like, even though a product designer has UI skill set, a UI designer is still going to be better at them than the product designer is. How is that sounding? Is that making sense?
Yeah, a lot actually. Yep.
Okay. Keep in mind that if you ask somebody else the differences between these things, they will give you a different answer. This is what I think is the industry standard, and it has like the industry's plateauing. This is what I think is the best mental model moving into it. So now circling back to your resume, I'm seeing all three titles, so I don't know what bucket to put you in or how to position your resume for that particular target. Based on that rough definition, do you have like an idea of which title you would want to best target?
Yeah, product designer. Yeah.
That makes sense to me, given that the portfolio that we were just looking at, you've got all the sections in there, and now it's just, it looks like a product design portfolio to me. Cool, man. So that makes a lot of sense. I would want to remove all the distraction then. So like remove UX UI specialist, just focus on product design. Design and launched Fluid GPT. So a description of the job itself. And then the title that you had at this company may be UX UI. You can change the job title to something more fitting of what you're trying to target. I don't think that's unethical, though feel free to challenge me on that. Mumbai. Yeah, Hyderabad. Cool. Cool. And it's interesting that you're putting months here. I would lean away from the months and I would just focus on years. Month is an unusual one. I got two thoughts there. One is it showcases that you weren't there for very long, which is kind of a bummer. But then two, I don't know how an ATS would deal with it. So it's like it's adding a variable that I just don't know about.
Okay. Yep.
Are you currently applying for jobs?
No, I'm already full time. I'm already full time jobber.
All right.
I'm already
Cool.
full time job. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do end up applying more for jobs, you will find that some applications will argue with you that you're not putting in the full months here. The idea is you go to a job application, it'll say something like, hey, plug in your resume and we'll auto complete all the rest for you. Except it's not going to recognize, a lot of these systems are really stupid and it won't recognize Nav or June or Jun.
Yeah.
So then you have to manually go back and do it all, which is kind of a hassle. If you were to just add the full name of the month, it solves the problem.
Yep.
Other than that, let's see. Education's down here. A 2-page resume isn't inherently a bad thing. And I think you've got the experience to justify it, especially if you're targeting mid-senior. Interesting seeing Roman numerals here. I haven't seen that before in a resume. What's your goal with the Roman numerals as opposed to bullets?
It's basically give an idea how much I solved or how much impact I would bring to their business or their product. Like,
Okay, and that's, do you feel like you're less able to achieve that in bullet form?
not particularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's just an extra variable. Like as a recruiter or a hiring manager or an ATS, I don't know that they'll know what to do with Roman numerals, and it's an unusual pattern. So I'd want to lean more back on standardization.
Got it.
Design knowledge-based features enabling users to upload and query documents directly in the chat, improving enterprise knowledge retrieval and cutting research time by 30%. This is a solid bullet point. Were you here when we talked about the why, how, what approach to bullets?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is almost the exact opposite. This is the what, how, why thing. Design knowledge base feature is the what. Enabling users to upload query documents directly in chat is how. Improving enterprise knowledge and retrieval and cutting research time is the why. So you're killing all the sections. Now I would just want to reverse the order. So the bullet would say it would be a why, how, what approach. So instead, this order would say, this bullet would say improved enterprise knowledge retrieval and cut research time by 30% by enabling users to upload query documents directly in the chat through a designed knowledge base feature or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. The benefit there being if you can start with the impact, start with the value that you provide the company, it's the first thing they'll read then, and it makes skimming this much more effective.
Yep.
But I think you're doing a lot of stuff right. I see metrics in here. Cool. These are like bulleted lists. They don't have to be a list. You can just put a giant paragraph here with a comma between them. I'm struggling to justify the second page here. And I bet you could fit all of this on the first page. If we remove this section because of distraction and we work with a word processing application of some kind, I bet you we can put all of this on a single page. Not that 2 pages is inherently bad, but I'm now at a point where I'm struggling to justify it. All that said, it's resume theory rhetoric, so I don't have a strong opinion about it.
Yep. Got it.
Cool, man. Hey, I'm looking at the clock. I don't know that I have any other priorities for you. I would say priority number 1 is just for your resume. Priority number 1 is just killing the personal description section. Priority number 2 is rewording your bullets to start with the impact, follow the why, how, what approach. And then, priority number 1 is to move this from Figma into a word processing application. That's priority 1. Then 2, remove the description. 3, rewrite the bullets to start with impact.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling, man? You feel like you got some actionables?
Actually, a lot. Actually, that actually clears a lot of confusion in my head. Yeah.
Right on. Hey, pleasure talking with you. Really appreciate the time. If you feel like making some changes and then joining us in a future Friday, would love to see it again.
Yeah, I'll be glad to join it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Thanks, Nate. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Really
my pleasure. Take care. Friends, appreciate all of you hanging out with me a little bit late today. No Tim today. I hope the guy's doing all right. Would love to see all of your faces again, but I am cooked and I'm going to take off for the day. We do this again every Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Would love to talk with you more in the future. Take care, friends.